guys, I'm Nathan from Arms and Armor. Today I want to show you this new prototype Harnesfechten sword that I made that we're trying out, and it's not something for competition, right? This is our black print sword with a rebated blade. You can see the geometry of it. It's diamond in section on the strong, and then in the weak goes to a hex section, but this thing is completely rigid. The interesting thing is the point is narrow enough that it can catch in mail. And I wanted to make this for our personal training because using a fetter for training Harnesfechten is too floppy for most of the binds, and it doesn't catch the mail. So I'm gonna have Patrick here plant this sword and set it on to my shoulder, right? And he can actually force me back. I'm gonna resist, right? He can push me back, there we go, which is just like a sharp sword. The other interesting thing is that when he plants it, it binds in the mail, right? It's in there. So if I do some of these things to get it off of there, I actually have to fight it to get it out of the mail. So we're gonna do some interesting tests with this. I would not recommend going and fighting someone with this who you don't know. It's not safe, but with people you trust, it's a much more accurate simulator of a Type 15A longsword, and it has the arms of Edward of Woodstock in the pommel, which is pretty awesome and perfectly 14th century. Check it out. Hey guys, so now we're doing some drills that come out of the Danzig manuscript for when you're both laid on to the opponent, like this, right? So this sword, like I said, really binds his armor, so he can't get away very well, right? One of the things that Danzig shows is this kind of prying disarm that Patrick's going to do to me here. Right? So he grabs my hand, and then he pries. Now the problem with trying to do this with fetters is that his sword just bends, which is fine. It gives you the idea. You can't really follow it through, right? So having a stiff blunt really helps. We're laid on here. Grab his hand, right? I can really move it through the way a sharp sword does. So anything that we train with, there are artifacts, right? You would not want to use this to stab your friend repeatedly. You won't have friends anymore. But I think it's an important training tool for figuring out how some of this stuff works. Thanks very much.